Hello, my name is Helen. You're probably wondering what liminal ambivalence or this project is. And in order to explain that, I'll need to tell you a little bit about myself. Throughout my life, I have cared deeply for aiding nature and people. Whether that be completing a charity hike dressed as a frog for Wildlife Trust, or participating in the citizens' jury to determine the public's views on assisted dying. Regardless, I've always cared actively. In between getting car fines and filming projects of my own in collaboration with others, I decided that I needed to do more. So, within 2 weeks, I applied for an MA in Art, Health and Wellbeing, got accepted, and moved my entire life to Cambridge. When I first began the course, I read the opening line of the Care Manifesto, and it changed everything. I knew then that I wanted to creatively tackle this issue, but the stark questions remained. What is carelessness? And more importantly, how do I make people care? After months of research, I coined a new term. I address liminal ambivalence creatively throughout my course. This took the form of producing a dialogic object and even trying my hand, or more accurately my body, at performance art. This all led me to my final trimester. In this trimester, we had to create a workshop promoting positive well-being in relation to a specific place. We were then presented with a place that I'd never even heard of. I researched the town's history extensively, online and in person. I was told tales of an ancient flint industry, the Norman Domesday Book, and vast swathes of vibrant Greenland. However, there were two aspects of Harlow's history that particularly caught my interest: Sir Frederick Gibbard's design and the astonishing sculptures that adorn the landscape. During one of my escapades to Harlow, I noticed that people were just wandering by the sculptures, paying them no attention. It was as if they unactively cared, but also did not care. They just simply did not engage with the sculptures. It then dawned upon me that this was liminal ambivalence, as I had a previous discussion with a leader of Harlow's nature and art making group who admitted that they don't see the sculptures anymore. And if anyone can consider and understand art, it's an artist. With this issue identified, I now had the task of creating a workshop to promote well-being for the residents of Harlow. But how? After days of research, working totally deep into the night, I was graced with genius. Well, close enough. What if I took my previous approach and the sculptures to create a participatory sculpture for Harlow by Harlow? So, with that sorted, I set out to make this a reality. With molds created and household chores thoroughly ignored, it was time for the next steps. My colleagues and I scoped out the workshop space in Harlow Park and liaised with the park ranger. We recorded sounds for a soundscape we created that played during the workshop. This is so participants could feel further connected to nature. And finally, we advertised the workshop. You're probably wondering why there's footage of me collecting dirt, and probably still wondering what my workshop is. Well, let me explain. This workshop was designed to promote well-being for the residents of Harlow using sculpture and attentiveness as the tools. I used my skills as a sculptor and artist, coupled with my people skills developed from my charity work. Within the workshop, participants related to Harlow by using a wayfinder on a giant map of Harlow, recreating a road or path which had significance to them upon a piece of wood. Participants then added natural matter to the mold to connect them with nature. I explained to them that I would then take their mold, chisel around the markings, and cast it with concrete to create their personalized sculpture. Cue the montage. With the sculptures created, it was now time to exhibit them. I invited participants along to connect the sculptures together. This was to further connect them to place. I felt this was important as the PERMA model of wellness indicates acknowledging accomplishments and contributions. And also, the theory of change highlights the importance of measuring the lasting effects of the workshop. In conclusion, it is important to me that communities like Harlow are connected to place and nature. So much of England's nature lies in ruins, dividing and starving us of the biophilic joy and peace that nature brings. Our government continues to neglect their responsibility of conserving nature and promoting sustainability. Not only that, but they refuse to honour promises made to protect the planet. Just read any state of nature report from any year and the alarming truth comes to light. Well-being, art and nature all come hand in hand. And I developed tiny attentiveness to begin to illustrate this point. And I will be developing this further in an attempt to aid my fellow humans and awaken them to the Earth's plight. Thank you.